Well, if that's not a way to start out a show, I don't know what is. But thank you, Clifton, for yeah. I see there's no audio, people. Oh goodness. Sorry, that was the one thing that I forgot to do before switching over my scenes. But what are you gonna do? It happens. Anyway, welcome to the show. It's TIMBP Live. I'm on my own this week. No guest this week. Maybe we'll get somebody back on next week. I don't know. I've still got to do these. What is it? The Balvenies at some point too. I thought, Swan, stop watching Criminal Minds. Actually, you know what? At this point, I don't care what you do, bud. Just live your dreams, live your life. Be good. Be good to yourself. Um, I miss you as well. I miss Swan. I've not seen him in like a month at this point, and it sucks a lot. So, doing guest co-host stuff is a lot of fun. I'm not knocking it at all. Like Clifton, who's in here, he did a great job this week. I miss my boy. I miss my Swanee. You know. Anyway. So yeah, thank you so much for being here this week. We're gonna do some Bulleit versus some Four Roses. Ooh. And the reason was that for you? What for you? I don't know. Donnie, hello. Swan, our other blue wrench here tonight. I'm sure Trev Wilson will show up at some point, but y'all respect the mods and be good in the chat. Whatever. Well, also I finished a whole bottle of Copper and King's Butchertown brandy this week. Good on you, Swan. Good on you. So if you're watching on the replay, welcome. Appreciate you being here. If you've not yet subscribed to the channel, please do. If you've not yet liked the video, please do that as well. Bell notification, all that good stuff. Down below, you will also find links for our Snuffy Chats. It's our super chat system here. And the reason we do it is because we are not yet... reminded you of Snake Juice when he said the name. That's funny. We have not yet hit 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube, which I still find crazy. But yeah, once we do, then we'll be able to do all of our super chats here. But in the meantime, Snuffy Chats, and they are all at the links below me, I guess, on the screen, and also in the description as well. So yeah, please help donate. Please donate to the show. I really appreciate everybody who does such things. It means a lot. I'll give you a little shout out here on the old stream itself as well, because that's what we do. We boys help boys protect boys, and boys or girls as well. Like it's a whole, like, you know how you're like, oh dude, like boys, dudes, girls, it's all the same thing. Doesn't matter. Oh, I'm tired. I spent my lunch for work taking a nap, and it did not do much for me. So I am running on fumes tonight, which is going to make for great content. Let's all get hyped for it. Yay! And drink some bourbon, because that's really going to help me out too. So let's go ahead and get this bad puppy boy thing kicked off. Why don't we? So I've figured, and I want to make a disclaimer here too. I'm really bummed because I went out right before the stream, and I hit a couple of stores, and I didn't get the chance to hit as many as I would have liked. But I wanted to pick up, running on alcohol fumes for sure. I wanted to pick up a bottle of the Bulleit Blender Select. I can't find it anywhere. I don't know if they're not making it anymore. Life is hard in social media. It ain't easy. It's better than most of my jobs I've had over the past year, but there are times where I just absolutely want to punch my computer and hope that it hits the people that made me want to do such things. So anyway, I wasn't able to get Bulleit Blender Select. I don't know if it's it's no longer being made or whatever, or if it's just out of stock everywhere. I don't know. I really wanted to have that for the stream so I could put it up against Small Batch Select, but I'm going to basically, like, it's not going to be a 1-to-1 on most of this. It is tasting through their lineup and then tasting through Four Roses next to them as well, and finding ways to kind of acclimate between the two. That's not the right word that I'm looking for, but just find a way to, make them line up a little better. I don't know, man. Like I said, dad brain, no sleep brain. So, gamify the job. Don't let the haters get you down. I'll do a shot every time somebody says we're in the middle of a Papa John's. No, I wouldn't do that. We also have our first super chat of the evening, Snuffy chat, excuse me, from Miss Lil, all the way in sunny Brisbane, Australia. She said, first, LOL, have a good stream. Thank you, Lil. Ooh. Four Roses small batch don't smell half bad. And I'm going to put Four Roses small batch up against Bulleit, just regular old Bulleit, as well. Because I figured that's about as 1-to-1 as you can get with this. But also there's the Bulleit 10-year, which is lower proof. And it kind of lines up with the same proof that small batch from Four Roses has. And so I just... That's what I'm saying. Like, nothing's ever going to be like. There's not a perfect match for most of these products between the two companies, but there are very similar ones. I just hit my reflexes on my knee. Snuffy Squad does rule. Hashtag Snuffy Squad. Kids still do that? I don't know. Doesn't matter. Hello, Matt Porter from ADHD Whiskey. Good to see you in here, buddy. Matt is going to be on the show next week. He's going to be our guest co-host for next week. Create a bingo board with all the stupid things people say and play with your coworkers. That's a great idea. That is a really good idea. Just you today. Chris is sitting in on interviews in our study. Nice. I don't know why, but I really don't like Four Roses Small Batch, but the Four Roses Small Batch Select is really great. I guess just the different recipes in what makes the difference between those two. Yes, more than likely. Yeah. Bulleit Barrel Proof really impressed me last year. I've got batch 5. I'm going to be tasting that here in a bit. Used to play buzzword bingo in meetings. Awesome stuff. All right, so I have got 90 proof Bulleit, once again, up against Four Roses Small Batch. So one of the reasons I wanted to do this, too, for a long time, it was rumored, and it's basically been confirmed without saying as much, that Bulleit was sourcing all of their whiskey from Four Roses except for their rye, which is MGP. And it's funny because I got the opportunity to go on a Bulleit pick at the beginning of last year. I think it was the beginning of last year with Tarek from Elixir down in Tennessee. And Bulleit made they didn't make it a secret that they're basically following the model of Four Roses with crafting their own distillate. So they do have 5 different yeast strains and 2 mash bills. And the mash bills are super, super similar to those from Four Roses. And in many ways, the yeast strains are as well. And forgive me, I can't name the different yeast strains. Well, I guess there's OVFE. Can't remember the 5th one, but they basically took that same model and ran with it. So essentially, you're going to have like Four Roses 2.0. So we'll see. I am curious to do this up against each other and see if there are similarities. This is the real reason that I'm doing this, because I've never taken the time to actually dive in and look at where these products are super similar and how they differentiate. And I have one really cool one that I'll get to do a little bit later on, but we'll get there. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I apologize. So, for starters, Bulleit. No, I've talked about it on the show before, but Bulleit is also. When we did a tour there a couple of years ago, I saw some samples with the Four Roses lettering, and they basically glossed over why it was there. Fantastic stuff. That's really good stuff. Amazing. Anyway, I've talked about this on the show many times, but Bulleit was what I kind of cut my teeth on when I was really starting to get into bourbon. And it wasn't until Iverson from OBC Kitchen said, he asked me, what do I like? It was for my birthday, I think. And he goes, well, I'll have you try Four Roses. And it was the best thing I'd ever had up until that point. And I still fondly remember that bottle. And really, really wish that I had some of it left. But anyway, this will be fun. This will be a good little trip down memory lane for me as well. Bulleit is it's kind of understated. Like, it's not incredibly complex, but it's also not, I don't know, it doesn't feel lacking entirely, I would say. But it just makes me kind of wish that there was a little bit more there. And I think some of that just has to do with the 90 proof on it. But at the same time, there's plenty of 90 proofers that have a whole lot of flavor to them and are delicious. So, and I do like small batch from Four Roses as well. I have a lot of trouble with my R's this week, I feel like. So, oh well. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so the Bulleit kind of just is very one note. It's all very baking spice and like bread note heavy, with a little bit of sweetness in there as well. But Clifton said, I don't think I've ever tried Bulleit bourbon, actually. I've had it in cocktails at bars, but that's about it. Huh. Fair enough. Knob Queek. What is this? Weekend podcast? No, I don't want somebody to edit my podcast for me. I do that all myself. You turds? Leave me alone. I'm not paying for that. It's annoying. Anyway. But where the Four Roses differs is that it actually has, like, you can pick up on more of the rye spice, and really, truly, you're getting more of the oak on it as well. And I think it's just the difference in, craft that goes into it. Who said that? It was a company that sent me an email. It's like the company was called We Can Podcast. And they said, hi, hope I'm not bothering you. Could you please refer me to the person in charge of This Is My Bourbon podcast? Already, you can tell that this is either a bot or somebody's just copied and pasted this crap. We're a podcast audio editing team doing audio cleaning, mixing, music for intro, write show notes, video editing, etc. Can I send you a portfolio and links to our services? Thank you for your time. I'm not going to dox the person that sent that. But I just, I don't have any interest in any of that. Am I getting? It's basically a solicitor. Like, that's all it really is. It just, I know what I'm doing. Matt said they must have heard I was coming back on. Might want to hire them for that extensive edit. I killed it with the edit the last time you were on, so I'm not too worried about it. Also, am not going to surprise you with a bottle of Kentucky Owl this time around either. So, what it do, Nick Foles? Welcome in, buddy. Good to see you. Don't even know the correct name. Man, if I could go back and rename the podcast, I would probably find something a little bit easier for people to find. I don't want to change it now because it's so unique. And John Edwards was the one who said, like, I've really set myself up for success with it too, like not getting copied because, when you have something generic like Dad's drinking bourbon, people are going to find easy ways to latch onto that. But, this is my bourbon podcast. What are you going to do with that? I hate those email blasts. I get them all the time at work. Yes. We would be a great fit for insert company name here if you used our services. Stupid. Anyway, I'm going to drink some Four Roses now. Oh, that is significantly better. Why would I change the name of the show? It's really hard for people, it seems like, if they don't know the gist behind it, to get the name right. I'm not going to rebrand Terrence. I won't do that. But countless times, people have missaid it as like, this is my bourbon, or it's my bourbon, or even just my bourbon. Like, but the whole name is This Is My Bourbon Podcast. Like, and I can understand why somebody would say something like, this is my bourbon podcast. Like, that's understandable. But it just, like, I just get kind of frustrated with it because it's not, and it's nothing I should be overly frustrated with. But the name's right there. I mean, I don't know. I Google bourbon podcast and you're number 3 on the list. Seems like a good spot to be in with the name. Ta-da! I'll take it. All right. Enough of me ranting. But it's just something that I've always thought about, It's like, maybe I could have gone with a different name, but oh well. Perry Pour is brought to you by TIMBP. Well, that'd be a good, like, offshoot podcast. Oh, man. Just drink nothing but Perry Pours and just rant for, like, 30 minutes. I mean, that's basically what the Grease does on the podcast. It'd be pretty funny, though. It'd be pretty funny. All right. I'm giving this round a Four Roses small batch. It is so much more complex and has so much more depth to it than the Bulleit does at 90 proof. Elijah Craig barrel proof with a splash of Elijah toasted is a very, very good blend to try. I have tried that, and it's freaking delicious. I am a fan of that, Nick Foles. Like, you, sir, are speaking my language. And I think I actually might have tried it a little bit after Clifton and I got done recording on Sunday. But anyway, it's good stuff, man. It's tasty. Tasty. Clifton said I'd be here for that. Yeah. And I mean, in some ways, too, like, it's basically just Last Call. Because Last Call, I mean, is the culmination of us having been drinking for a couple hours at that point. And then, by the way, this week's Last Call was one of my favorites that we've put out. It's also easily the longest, almost at another hour of content. Excuse me. But Clifton and I had a great conversation. Just a phenomenal time getting to chat with each other. So if you're not on the Patreon, $5 a month gets you a bonus episode on Tuesdays and one on Thursdays as well. So that's basically 3 straight days of episodes from the show. So pre-game chats on Tuesday, main episode on Wednesday, and then Last Call on Thursday. And Last Call is always the best. It's always my favorite thing to do because it's the loosest and it's the most conversational, and we we did go really deep on this week's last call. So this was easily the least goofy, because we've had some goofy. You got nervous when you saw how long it was, but it was a really good conversation. I agree. You don't remember talking that much? It was about an hour. I was really surprised with it. But you need to get back on again? I thought you guys were on the Patreon. Maybe you're not. Get back on it, please. $5 a month. Patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast. Anyway. So normally the last call is Swan and I doing basically an extended bit or a sketch where we go to the last call bar, and there's always different bartenders, and we improv the entire thing, and it's just fun. It's goofy and ridiculous, and it's usually when I get the most drunk because it's all very rapid fire. Yeah. Oh, on the podcast. Yes, absolutely. We do need to get you guys back on. Whenever you come back over, we'll do another episode with you guys. So it'd be awesome. Anyway, Four Roses wins this round. It's got more depth and complexity to it than the regular Bulleit. So one for Four Roses. I need like a thing that hit and it makes a noise. What are we gonna do? Okay. So what I'm gonna do now, and because this is another small batch or another blend. Oh yeah, it does say small batch on there. What do you know? I wanted to put the Four Roses small batch up against the 10-year-old Bulleit, which again is also a small batch. That was a loose cork. I probably should finish this tonight. Yeah, we'll see how milky this looks. Oh, wow. Holy moly. Can you guys see that? That is some oxidized bourbon. It doesn't smell good. It does not smell good at all. I'm going to give... I'm very sorry about that. I didn't realize that at all until I got to it. I'll take a sip. Just to see, because why the heck not? But I'll take a sip just to see if I can stomach it. But I don't know. It's automatically not going to win. Like, there's nothing about this that is going to be good to where pass on that one. Let's just take a sip and see. Oh, that's atrocious. Wow. No, sir. Looks murky. It was very murky. It tasted awful. It was just severely, severely oxidized. So. Oh, what is she eating? Watch it when it goes. Oh. My baby's eating some solid food. Was she eating ice cream? Oh, there it goes. That was cute. Sorry. If it doesn't smell good, it probably wouldn't taste good. I don't know what happened, Clifton, but the cork was... Here, let me see if I can demonstrate for you guys. So, can you hear that? Like, the cork was loose. And it doesn't make any sense. Like, it should have just spit out a fresh cork, popped Bulleit 10. Fair enough. I really just, yeah, it must have been a bad cork seal, but I don't see any reason for that to have happened, just because I mean, I've had it for a while. It's been under basically the same storage conditions that it has been. You know, maybe moving it out here didn't really do much good for it. I don't know. Regardless, no bueno. No bueno. So let's give Bulleit another shot. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and finish up the Four Roses small batch. So as I can move on to the Four Roses single barrel. Well, it's unfortunate that didn't pan out, but so I have 2 Bulleit single barrels as well. And one of them just happens to be a 12-year-old Four Roses at 104 proof. So I figured this would be a good way to compare the two. This one is slightly older than the Four Roses single barrel that I'm about to pour, which is 7 years old. Yeah, 7 years, 7 months. And this is the 100 proof single barrel version. It's not the cast strength. We're going to do that in a minute as well. And it's just the OBSV. So their standard single barrel product, but a pick of it. And I just picked this up today. I picked it up when I was going out to look for the Blender Select as well. So there we go. Single barrel. Not that. Single barrel. There we go. Do. And Total Wine. Swan's place of employment. I got another Bulleit single barrel over here as well. That I think I've had on the show before, but it's a 12-year-old Brown Foreman from Justin's House of Bourbon here in Lexington. So good stuff, really good stuff. I was exceptionally surprised by a 12-year-old Brown Foreman in a Bulleit mask. Oh goodness. Palate cleanse. There we go. Alrighty. Let's start actually with the Four Roses single barrel. It's a little light on the nose. I mean, it's definitely not bad. How are there still geese right now? I think that's what I'm hearing. Sorry, dead air. But I thought all the geese had gone already. Yeah, it's just kind of a light nose. But hello, Will Henderson. Mr. Hendo himself actually provided the samples that Matt Porter of ADHD Whiskey and I are going to be drinking on next week's episode. So we're going to be recording on Saturday. I am super, super pumped. It's been a long time since Matt and I have gotten to talk extensively. But yeah, those are geese. Wild. That's not bad, man. That's not bad. It's good luck. Oh, thank you. It's definitely not overly deep or complex. Curated episode sounds great. Yeah. I'm open to that. If you guys want to send samples if you want to send samples for episodes or for me to do on a stream, shoot me a DM and we'll get that set up. I need to get a PO box set up. Perry, I thought you were only distracted by swans. Well, I've got the off-brand swan, the geese, flying around out here. But like I said, I miss swan quite a bit. It's been Far too long since I've seen my best bud. So, it's good. This is a good Four Roses single barrel. I'm usually not as big a fan of the 100 proofers as I am the cast strength, of course, but that's just the proof hound in me. But this is delicious. Truly, truly, this is a good Four Roses single barrel. I'm actually going to have another sip of it since this is a fresh crack, and since I don't, I wanted to give it a little bit of time to kind of open up. I'm distracting. What can I say? You're just full of life and energy, my friend. That's all it is. That's good stuff. That is quite good. Okay, I'm going to take a sip in between. And now this is the... Todd Cooper. Todd Cooper. Hey, buddy. It's good to see you in here. Todd and I are going to be doing a little private hangout soon because he is one of our top tier patrons at patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. And one of the rewards is, I think I have it worded on there that the reward itself is like something, it's like a surprise or something. But what it is I send you samples and we have like a personal private hangout. And it will be fun. I think Patrick's the other one that's on the top tier list. And when he gets back from New Zealand, then he and I are going to do that as well. Also, the tier list on Patreon is going to switch up here soon to reflect future endeavors that we would like to approach with the podcast. All right. So, right off the bat, I'm stealing Chad's thing now. But right off the bat, the nose definitely indicates an older an older bourbon, just in general. It's only 4 proof points higher. So the Four Roses is 100 and the Bulleit is 104, which is just another Four Roses, I guess. And I don't know what the recipe is on this either. It doesn't smell or really taste super high rye-y. So it could be an E recipe, but I could be way off base with that as well. I don't know. I'm sure I have by this point, but I don't 100% know if I've had every single recipe from Four Roses. And I would really, really like to. If anybody out there pick up the Bulleit cast strength at work or not, they have one that's sub 120. Go for the high proof, man. Go for the higher proof. I mean, if you're gonna shell out those dollars, you may as well go for a higher one of the higher proof batches. So, lost my train of thought. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. If anybody has all 10 Four Roses recipes, I would love to get sent a sample of each of them so that I can taste through and like know which one is which, because that would be something that I would really, really like to do. I think the only person that I know that has all 10 is Travis Gintz, but if somebody does and I don't know, I would love to try all 10 of those lined up together. So, all right. Bulleit single barrel from Four Roses. What a weird sentence that is, by the way. Bulleit single barrel from Four Roses. Probably get some Jack Daniel's Tennessee Tasters. The barrel proof's 127-ish. Nice. Donnie, you have 8 of the 10. You need OESO and OBSO. I think those are the 2 hardest ones to find. Because the O, the second O, it's the most used in all of their recipes. So it's constantly on reserve for batches. And funny enough, OBSO is that one that I had at OBC that Iverson gave me that I loved so much. Gave me a drink of course. But I've owned one. Scott Pigsley, hello Scott, good to see you, my friend. I've owned one bottle of OBSO, and it was amazing. It was amazing. So, and OBSO is my favorite recipe, so that I've had. So I guess I haven't had all 10. Who's to say? Maybe I have. Maybe I haven't. I really don't know. I'm going to have to reach out to Travis, see what he can do. Terrence said, I had the JD single barrel proof last weekend. Fantastic. Such great flavor and no banana notes. It's amazing. I love Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. I need to just have a bottle of it on hand all the time. We went over to Lucy's dad's house, my father-in-law, Brett, on Sunday before Clifton and I recorded. And I told him, now you've got to drink this, and I'm not going to tell you what it is until you drink it. And he loved it. He was like, you can really tell this is a full-bodied bourbon. It's got a lot of proof to it and everything. I was like, you ready? You ready to find out what it is? Knowing full well that he wasn't going to be happy with the answer. And he just about crapped on the floor because of the fact that it was a Jack Daniel's that he actually enjoyed. But it was really, really fun to watch, and it's a fun thing to do to your friends who might say that they don't like Jack Daniel's. Surprise them with Jack Daniel's at a higher proof and a single barrel. I had one single barrel Jack Daniel's that was no good, but regardless. Bobby, or Bob, from Bourbon Battalion. Welcome. Good to see you, buddy. It was Malort. Oh, goodness. All right, I'm going to go back and try this Four Roses single barrel again after having had the Bulleit. Because right now the Bulleit is winning out. But I think that the age is really saving it right now. And it's not that there's anything wrong with it by any means. I mean, the age is pushing it over the edge. I mean, that's what you're going to do when you're putting stuff up against each other. Bobby is fine. Sounds good, Bobby. It's opened up a little bit. Not a whole lot, but it's not bad. 7 years, 7 months. It's not really anything to write home about, but, what's the phrase? I wouldn't kick it out of bed. It's a stupid old phrase. Ugh. Hello, Emily Chambers. Truthfully, if I love this from Nick Foles, if I love Stag Jr. Booker's Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, do I believe Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof is in the same realm? Yes. Truthfully, I think that Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof is that good. And I think that it deserves the praise and recognition that those three products that you mentioned get, because it's cheaper than Booker's. It's usually about the same proof as a Stag Junior, and it's got the depth and complexity of an Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. So Price alone is a winner for me. Proof is of course, automatic added bonus. And the fact that it mirrors one of my favorite bourbons of all time. I give it a ringing endorsement, honestly. I really do. It's so hard not to, but a lot of people just automatically, of course, write it off by saying it's Jack Daniels. Well, yeah, it is Jack Daniels, but it's the best Jack Daniels you're ever going to have. Truly, it is the best Jack Daniels you're ever going to have. And you can usually find it in most big box liquor stores. So, I almost bought a bottle tonight, but I couldn't find it anywhere. So I guess you can't find it in every store, but Nick said, I'll buy a bottle. I've passed over the bottle for like 2 years and just never bought one. I need to try one for sure. They also have, most stores don't do this, but I've seen it in a couple. I think it's just been Total Wine, but they will have a pint or a 375. Is 375 pint? Let me know, please. But they'll have that size of the Jack Daniel's single barrel proof, JDS BP. I truly don't know which one's easier to say either. Oh, hey. Bobby, all the way from Bourbon Battalion with the snuffy chat, said, agree with that completely. Jack Daniel's single barrel proof is great. It is great indeed. Cheers to you, my friend. Scott, I've got, I think Swan was saying that they had some of the, oh no, this was Discovery Series 4. How is Fusion Series 4? Let me know. What was I saying? Yeah, Swan's got a Discovery Series 4 for me at his store. Or the one where he is currently. All the way in Knoxville. 3 hours away from me. Some of this feels like, and I am just now realizing this. So, and it's on a much smaller scale in some degree, but in a lot of degrees. But so, Lucy and I, it's my wife, I think you all know that, but we were high school sweethearts, are high school sweethearts, I guess. We started dating basically like the week before our senior year of high school. And we've been together ever since. And our first year of college, she was at a school 30 minutes south of Knoxville. So 3.5 hours away. So I rarely saw her during our freshman year. It was really unfortunate because but it was good for us. I mean, we grew a lot during that time. And I'm going through some of the same dealings, I guess, in some ways with Swan being gone. It's like, 3 hours away. Like, we used to be able to just be like, hey, what are you doing? Do you want to come over and have a couple drinks? Sure, come on. But, yeah, Anyway, I miss my boy. Papa Ritter's a little bit late, but that's okay. You still made it. I'm happy to see you, buddy. Love the Chattanooga 111. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. I do enjoy that quite a bit. All right, in this round, I think... Yeah. I mean, here's the weird thing about this, and it's kind of an unfair game. But Bulleit definitely wins this one with an asterisk because it is a Four Roses sourced single barrel at 12 years old and 104 proof. So I'm giving this one to Bulleit again with an asterisk, but it's really good. It's definitely better than the 100 proof OBSV. So maybe I'm just feeling that tonight. I mean, I could probably do something totally different with it tomorrow if I were gonna do all this again. But anybody got time for that right now? We do a follow up stream, just crash everybody else's schedule tomorrow night. So 1 for Bulleit, 1 for Four Roses. We're gonna move into the cast strength category now. I gotta finish these real quick. Or, you know what? I'll just put them into my infinity glass. Cool. Man, that's good. So good. All right. This is a really good pick, though. This is a really good 100 proof OBSV. Oh, small batch select. Crap. I'll give small batch select a best in show. We'll say. So this is another Liquor Barn Four Roses pick. This is an OBSQ at 10 years, 10 months. And it is exactly 111 proof. So good times were had by all. Pop that bad boy up there. You gonna grab this other bad boy down here? This is the Bulleit Barrel Strength Batch 5 at 123.4? No, that's not right. 125.4. Whatever 62.7 is multiplied. I don't know. Penelope does have a fancy bottle. The only Penelope I've really had is the cast strength 4 grain. And it's good. It's good. I like it. You like your Four Roses Old? I do too. I think it was 2 Father's Days ago that they put out like a 15-year single barrel at the gift shop. I just wanted to go there so badly to pick up a bottle, but I can't remember. I mean, it must have just been that we had Father's Day stuff, but you know. All right, 125.4. Thank you, Terrence. Happy birthday to Alice Cooper. All right, well, happy birthday, Alice Cooper. All right, I'm going to start with the Four Roses single barrel before moving on to the Bulleit barrel strength. Really tired. I'm crashing hard all of a sudden. That's what you have. The barrel strength 4 grain. There you go, Scott. Oh, it's been a minute since I've had this OBSQ. Whoa, mama. That is a spicy meatball. Oh my gosh. It's minty, it's earthy. It's got a lot of cinnamon on it as well. It's very it's really unlike any other Four Roses I've had. And it's really kind of off profile for bourbon in general. I mean, there's not a whole lot of the Donnie, you can of course approve that from Nick. I don't know if you're looking or not. I'll go ahead and approve it. There we go. It's a really good comment, Nick. It made me laugh a lot. Anyway, it doesn't have the typical characteristics of bourbon. Your caramels and vanillas and your oaks and your, all that stuff. But it's phenomenal. It's really good. I I have a problem with Four Roses single barrels. Like if they show up in my house, like I'm gonna drink them. So I don't ever really, hold on to them for very long, which is one of the reasons why I started my Four Roses Infinity bottle, which basically is just, I mean, it's not just picks. I've put small batch select in here. I've put some 100 proof picks in as well. And it's super different. I mean, it's just kind of an ever changing, like, infinity bottle, you know? And it's really cool. I like doing these with specific brands. I've got one for Russell's. I've got one for Rare Breed, actually, which you wouldn't think would be super different, but with the changes that they've had over the past couple of years with the the age of what actually goes into a bottle of Rare Breed. But Eric Smith, swinging by to say cheers at work, gonna hang a bit. What month selected is that Liquor Barn pick? December 2020. Good stuff, man. I don't even really remember purchasing this bottle. I don't know how it got to me, but anyway. Also, Chris, Lil's partner. Good to see you in here, buddy. You kind of snuck in. I think I saw that you said hi, but you were doing some Mac setup. That's all good, Donnie. It's all good, buddy. Just anyway. So when this gets down to about 2 ounces, I'll throw it in the infinity bottle. And I'll probably wind up doing the same, to be honest, with the 100 proof OBSV, which you can't even see on camera. But I mean, it makes for a really interesting, different bottle. It's ever changing, and it's kind of like my own small batch select, I guess, or my own cast strength small batch, because I would still kind of consider it cast strength, because it's Nick, why have I not been doing that with Elijah Craig barrel proof? What is wrong with me? I should have been doing that years ago. To stretch out my favorite bourbon by doing my own barrel proof blend? And here's the thing, too. Like, these infinity bottles, I don't touch very often. Like, I let them sit. So that would be an Elijah Craig barrel proof home blend infinity bottle that I would just have around. Like, I wouldn't even think about it until I was just digging through the cabinet or re-sorting everything. Like, that... God, I'm an idiot. All right. Well, so now I'm gonna start doing the infinity bottle for Elijah Craig barrel proof as well. Daggone it! Why haven't I done that? That's something like that is such a no-brainer for me. I should have thought of that literal years ago. Each new batch you get, you put aside a couple of ounces. Perfect. Stays consistent to the profile, but each batch gets a new component to it. Very nice. Avengers Infinity bottles. I'm too tired to make a Thanos joke. But Bulleit barrel strength. That is still delicious. It's very good. You started a Booker's Infinity bottle. That's awesome. I should have done that too. At the beginning of the pandemic, I just got like super sad and started like just just drinking all the high proof stuff. Like, anyway, that's why I had to replenish my stash with so much Elijah Craig barrel proof. But I'm good for the most part now. I need a couple more, and I think I'll be set. But hey, we got 27 folks in here. That's not bad for us. That's not bad at all. Tell your friends. Come watch this guy drink some bourbon. Because why the heck not? I honestly think I might wind up giving this to the Four Roses single barrel. That is delicious. That is so good. Yeah, I think I'm just feeling the Four Roses tonight. Yeah. Oh, but that Bulleit's delicious, though. That Bulleit's probably not making it to the end of the night. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm giving this one to Four Roses. So with a 2-1 victory, Four Roses comes out on top. Now, I will also say, oh shoot, I gotta do that. I mean, this is just how I feel right now, but I probably on a different night might go a different way. I will say, I think that regular old Bulleit is just, it's the weakest link in all of this. I really wish that I had been able to I really wish that I had been able to try the 10-year and not have to spit it out based on the anyway, doesn't matter. But overall, I mean, it was actually quite a close competition. Four Roses just takes the cake. I think that they do it best because they're the originals, of course. So, don't hate the player, hate the play or the game. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let me catch up on some comments. You guys are chatty tonight. Don Nishida, all the way in Hawaii, said aloha. Been watching for the last 20 minutes, but just got out of the car. Papa Ritter said, not sure what I'll drink in a few, but Four Roses sounds lovely. Four Roses always sounds lovely. Nick Foles, this is what made me laugh a second ago. I'm convinced we are the same person, Perry. Since March of last year, I've put down 4 bottles of Stag Junior. The high proof stuff has been hitting the spot for me since the pandemic hit. Yes, 100%. And I've had to reteach myself that I don't have to have that much high proof stuff all the time, especially now being a dad, because I have to be responsible, and if something happens with a baby, I got to be ready for it. But yes, the high proof, the cast strength bourbon has just been my jam recently. And really since the pandemic started. Donnie, I've had Barrel Dovetail Batch 5 and Batch 8 tonight. I prefer Batch 5, but both are great. Has anyone had any encounters with the Nulu bourbons? Might get some from Justin's House of Bourbon sent over. Yes, I have had a few. All have been from the Total Wines, and it's good. It's really good. It's sourced MGP, of course. So right off the bat, it's going to be tasty. But in the same vein, they do their own thing with it. I mean, they've got toasted barrels, they've got finished stuff, whatnot, and it's good, man. I like it. I think you guys should definitely try it. How do people not hit like on their way into a regular stream, Emily? I agree with you. If you've not hit the like button, please do. I appreciate it. It helps us immensely. Adam, but Bulleit is Four Roses, so really it's a win-win. That is true, but if it's blends, it's going to be a different product inherently. I mean, yeah, it's got the same DNA, but once you have so much barrel proof, 90 proof tastes like water. Agreed. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, it is the top of the hour, but I don't know, man. I got some gumption left in me. I got some energy. It's coming back. We got the most viewers we've had all night, so I don't see why I should stop now. I mean, we'll go for a little bit longer. Drop some questions in the chat. I'll answer some questions. What's everybody drinking? I haven't asked that yet. Totally forgot to ask. What's everybody drinking on this Thursday evening? I'm trying to decide what I want to have next. You know what? I'll drink from the. Where are you? There you are. I'll drink from the old Four Roses Infinity bottle, because why the heck not? Yeah. I'm excited to try this Infinity bottle out. It's been a minute since I've had it. Woo! Man. I've got this like gas bubble trapped like right here in my stomach. And I can't get it out. Like, I've tried everything and it just keeps sitting. And it's kind of like acidic too. So when audio cut out. Is it back? Okay, there we go. Anyway, catch anybody up who might have missed it. I've got this gas bubble like right on top of my stomach, and it's really, really acidic, and I can't get it to fix itself for whatever reason. But I can't, I don't know. Weird audio moment. It was one of those things where it just repeated. Yeah. It's fine. It's back. So, Papa Ritter's out. Bye, Papa Ritter. Love you, buddy. Good seeing you in here. Bobby's drinking 2018-03 Booker's. Very nice. Sweet tea like you should. Like an old school wrestler pulling out of the sleep hold. Am I sure it's not acid reflux? It's not. It's definitely not. It's gas. I have acid reflux, of course, because drinking bourbon will do that to you. But it's no, it's sitting right on top as it feels like bloating, if that makes sense. So, yeah. I had my ECBP toasted mixture earlier. Now moving into cigar blend. Very nice. I haven't had cigar blend in a while. I think I had cigar blend early in my podcast journey. And so I've had so much since then that I kind of forgotten what it's like. But I always remember it being just kind of in general being really good. And, that's of course kind of been reinforced and backed up by what other people say. So it's expensive though. I don't normally complain too much about price, but I have kind of, I don't know. I'm never one to there's something about the cigar blend that I just haven't pulled the trigger on yet, and I probably should because people love it so much, and it would be a really good one to have, just to pull out for people when they come over or when I take it to other people's houses or whatever. But, trying to turn the audio up a bit so I could relax a little bit more. So I've been right up on the mic. Anyway. This is my bodily functions podcast. Let me tell... Nope, not saying that. Tammy, I'm going to steal the last pour of ECBP since Brian is sleeping. Won't say a thing. Terrence Scott is drinking the Bell Mead cask right now. Bob said he's looking forward to going back to OBC Kitchen. I was there last week. Phenomenal as always. Took Lucy there for her birthday on Friday. What a great meal, man. Well, okay, so we started at OBC and we just had drinks and appetizers. And then we went to our favorite Italian restaurant as well. But anything named cigar blend is always premium cost. Yeah, for sure. Todd, it was good seeing you as well, buddy. Thank you so much for hopping in here for a little bit. Good seeing you, man. Good seeing you. Nick Foles, trust me, I agree. Very expensive. This 127 proof one is a straight hitter, though. I mean, I'm all for it. And like I said, I probably should pick up a bottle, and very well might the next time I see one. But it's it's an odd thing, I did see, what's that new? It's like Coalition Bourbon or something. I did see that at not at Total Wine, at Liquor Barn tonight, and it's not cheap either. I mean, even the regular release of the bourbon was like $90. And the Olive Garden. It was not Olive Garden. It was a local Italian restaurant. It's called Giuseppe's. It's chef's kiss. Donnie poured some 2019 Weller Foolproof store pick. I'm not a Weller fan other than WLW. It's hitting the spot. The nose is root beer and the palate unlike what I typically get on 107 or Foolproof. Awesome. I do like Weller Foolproof quite a bit. Not seen one in over a year now, and last one was $219. You tell me that the cigar blend was $219? Because that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for one bottle of bourbon. I have not paid over about $120 for a single bottle. No, $150. Yeah, because somebody was selling a Kentucky Owl Rye. It was a batch 2 at a discount, and I was like, I gotta jump on this. I gotta get that. It's behind the bar at the moment, but it's fantastic. Such good rye whiskey, man. Dixon just knows. It's $250 there. Holy moly! All right, maybe I'm not gonna pick it up next time I see it. I'll tell you what I have seen a lot of though is Whiskey Drummer from 3 Chord, and that's about $230. $230. So maybe they sent me the bottle that I have now, but I mean there's a chance that I might pick up one. I don't know. I haven't really decided yet. So RC6 is the best weeder of all time. Woo! That is a statement if I've ever heard one there, Terrence. Man. Oh. Patrick's about to head off to New Zealand tonight. Let's all raise a freaking glass to Patrick as he heads off to the southern tip of the land down under. He's taking Knob Creek 12-year and ECBP B520 for your quarantine bottles. Man, could not have chosen 2 better bottles, I'll say. Cheers to you, Patrick. And I was saying earlier, when you get back, I owe you a major Patreon reward for being at your tier. So we'll talk about that when you return. But cheers to Patrick. Man. Wow, that is different. Woo, that infinity bottle. That's That has changed so much. Did I ever have the burning chair sample you sent me? No, I have not had that yet. It's around here somewhere. I don't know exactly where. I do need to get into that though. Joseph Brazo. Welcome in, Joseph. It's good to see you, my friend. Eyes are getting dry. Stay tuned for my daily reviews of the same bottles. Patrick. I can't wait to... It's like a captain's log who's been stranded out at sea. Day 12. I've still not made contact with anybody. I don't know what is that? Is that South African that I was doing? I don't know. I'm tired, man. But I'm still riding this like this wave of my second wind. But regardless. Yeah, I know you'll be in the chats, but still, we'll miss you. We will miss you, Patrick. Hello to you, Joe Bro. COVID stopping bourbon catch-ups. Been the worst, man. I had this thought. I like I said, I ran out to go get that single barrel for tonight, that Four Roses single barrel. And I started thinking about how, like, this time last year, I was going to Wilderness Trail to sit down with Shane and Haley. I went up to Louisville to see Fred. I've not seen Fred in a year. That blows my mind. I would normally, and it's not like it was often, but I would at least see him a couple of times a year before the pandemic. I mean, I've not seen him since last February at this point. Just absolutely baffles me. And I was texting with Dixon and said, he did a live stream with Will and Grease last night on the podcast channel on YouTube, and I texted him and said it was good, watching you for a little bit, miss hanging out with you. I was just like, as nice as it has been to do these virtual hangouts and do Zoom calls and everything, I am just starved, absolutely starved for hanging out with people and just bringing bottles to the table and freaking hanging out and sharing laughs and drinks and memories. And I'm so aware now of my extrovertness, I guess. Like, I never really understood that I was an extrovert until all this happened, and then I started realizing that I missed people significantly. And, as time has gone on, it's only gotten worse and worse and worse. And, upping anxiety and depression medicine has helped a little bit, of course. But it's tough, man. I really, really miss hanging out with people. I miss meetups. I miss doing a live show. If we can freaking get a live show in 2021, I will be floored. I will absolutely just jump for joy. And I don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. Like, even in small doses, the schedule is kind of filling up already. But ideally, by the end of the year, if everything evens out the way that it's supposed to and whatnot, doing a live show again would be great. And I have other things planned as well. which maybe I'll talk about on Patreon. I'll probably talk about it on Patreon here soon. I talked about it a little bit last week with the network, but there's stuff that I have formulated in my head that I really you guys are gonna love. It's gonna be really, really cool when all that kind of starts kicking off. But name the date and you'll be there. Patrick, I will do my best, buddy. I want so badly to want so badly to hang out with you guys. Really, really do. But we'll when things get moving again, when we finally figured out how to do this crap the right way, then we'll talk about it. We'll make it happen. We'll make it happen. I am committed to doing in the future more in-person events, more live shows, stuff like that. And I think that we've got some really good opportunities ahead of us, and I'm really, really pumped for it. So, the goal, at the very least, I'll say this now, mostly because I've had a couple drinks, but the goal at the very least is by about September, October, to have the network launched and have it up and going. And there's a lot of stuff that I'm working on behind the scenes to make this happen. But as an entity, the idea is third or fourth quarter of 2021. So you guys are gonna really enjoy it. I'm so excited for the network. I've been formulating this and dreaming about this and concocting the plans for it almost since day one. And it's gonna be so cool and so much fun. And the shows that the people that I have reached out to be a part of it have been on board, have been excited about it, and I can't wait. I can't wait. And there's more to come with that in the future. But I'm at the point where I'm rambling, which is never a good sign for a live stream, especially if you're on your own. But I just want to say thank you all so much for hanging out with me tonight for TIMBP Live. Next week, I don't know, maybe we'll do this Balvenie little tasting collection thing, Maybe we'll get into some scotch, but I don't know. I don't want to do too much scotch stuff. It is my bourbon podcast after all. I mean, this is my bourbon podcast. That's what the name of the dang thing is. Anyway, I love you guys. I really do. Thank you all so much for the support. I've said this a million times. I'll say it a million more times. Thank you all so much for the support that you've given me and the show over the past year. It's been phenomenal. And I know everybody's going through stuff. Of course, I'm going through stuff as well. We're all trying to deal with it and make the best of it. And I think that we're doing our best, man. We're doing our best. And as long as we're all in it for each other, we'll be okay. Anyway, I'll be back next week. I'll be back next week with an episode as well with Matt Porter of ADHD Whiskey. And I cannot wait for that. It's going to be so freaking fun. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait. Ugh, man. I love Matt Porter to death, man. That guy just brings me a lot of joy. Anyway, if you have not yet become a part of the Patreon community as well, head to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. For as little as $1 a month, you can support the show. But at $5 a month, you can get all the bonus content, which includes 2 bonus episodes a week. 2 a week. On top of the main episode that comes out every Wednesday. So head on over there, patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast. I love you guys. Thank you all so much. Y'all are the best. Can't wait to do more awesome things in the future. That's such a dumb statement. Anyway, thank you all so much. I'll see you next week for another TIMBP Live. But until then, just keep drinking bourbon, man. Just drink some. Just have a good time. Enjoy yourselves, you know? Let's get through this together. You know. Anyway. All right. Bye, guys. Love y'all.